Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany, and I have an unboxing video for you today. This is the Wisdom Seekers Tarot by David Fontana, published by Watkins Publishing, and let's get to it. It was a good mail. I had a few of these to do because I kept them on my shelf. Okay, so beautiful box with that lovely the type of finishing that they've got. Comes with a pull out little ribbon, so beautiful box to have on your bookshelf for sure. I love me a good sturdy box. Cool. It's a full color guidebook, you know how much everyone loves that. So let's see what we get in the guidebook. Okay, so there's an introduction, the history of tarot, the world of symbols, getting started, working with the tarot. Then it jumps into the major arcana with the Fool's Journey. That's cool. So it talks about the actual Fool's Journey in the way. That's cool. A couple of pages about the Fool's Journey. And then, which is a common, many of us tarot people know about the Fool's Journey for the major arcana. And then it jumps into the meaning of the cards. So it doesn't look like there's a shadow or reversed meaning of the deck, but it, see if this is, okay. So with the major arcana, you get when you work with this card, ask yourself. But then when we move to the minor arcana, it's completely different. So it's done, and completely different in regards to it doesn't separate out the cards. It goes in aces, twos, threes, fours. I prefer to have it all, each one talked about. And then we have princesses. There's nudity in this deck, by the way. Princesses, princes. So princesses is in the place of pages. Princes in the place of knights. And then queens. I'm going to show you the cards, that's why I'm not. Then kings. And then readings and layouts, the 7-card horseshoe. And then the Celtic cross, which only has 6 cards in this one. There you go. And the tree of life. So you get 3 tarot spreads. And they're pretty meaty. And then further reading. Okay, cool. So a cute little book. Well, I'm going to pull a card at the end anyway, and we'll see. So it sits like this inside. These inserts tend to get, as you can see, they tend to get like hella damaged in transit on their way here, but that's no one's fault. We all know what happens to our post. It's exactly the same as what happens to your luggage. It just gets chucked. The backs are orange. It's nice cardstock. Like Watkins do a good job of cardstock. I know cardstock is a thing for a lot of us. I'm just checking something. Interesting. So this is something that I am not a fan of, publishers. This here on the back, and this is not a huge thing, but it's like, dude, kind of not cool. On the back, we see them here as borderless. They're not borderless. They have borders. So I just feel like don't put them on the back saying they're borderless when they're not borderless. Okay, so let's go through the images. The Fool. I really like this magician. I fucking love this magician. This magician reminds me of a piece of artwork that I came across in an art gallery of the magician like this. I really, really love that magician. Like the hat being the lemniscate, can't pronounce it, the infinity symbol. So cool. The high priestess. The empress. So as you can see, this is very Rider-Waite-Smith-esque. I like this emperor too. The artwork is gorgeous. I'm really digging the artwork. The Hierophant. The lovers. It's a bit funny. It's like, do I take the naked lady or the lady with the clothing on? And it says a lot. That's an interesting depiction of the lovers in regards to if you want to read into that symbolism. The Chariot. I like how the horses like merge at the back there. That's really cool. Very much aligned to that Chariot. Strength. Again with the infinity symbol in the hat. I dig that. The Hermit. Here's the thing though, the borders I don't find them intrusive at all. Like, they're not ugly horrid borders, it's just little white borders. The wheel, so it would have been cooler if they were borderless, but I own plenty of decks that are bordered. Actually, most of my decks are. Justice. The artwork is so freaking pretty. The Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. Moon. The Sun. Judgment. The World. Okay, so now we're moving into the minor arcana with an itchy nose. They are pip. They are pip deck. They are pip cards. So I'm not going to spend as much time kind of going through. So as you can see, like if you look at the two and the three together, you can see that the three has been, it's like the same border around, whereas the central, which is very Marseille, so there is a little bit more than just the, I have said this from the word go, and you all know this about me if you've been watching my videos for any length of time. I struggle to get a lot outside of what I already know about the tarot in my memory for pip decks, because I like the symbols. I like having a conversation with my cards in regards to, like, what do you want to tell me? Like, what am I feeling in the cards? I work intuitively. I'm also kind of a little bit sort of funny around, so if I had to say anything about it, there's a couple of, like, obviously with the borders, but I also feel a little like, I don't know, around selective nudity. Like, I don't understand why the only person in the court, that has got her boobs out is the Princess of Wands, and everybody else is fully clothed. you know, and if it was meant to be like, oh, it's because of the innocence, whatever, it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know where that kind of idea was. Now, I'm not against nudity. I have no problem with nudity at all. I just don't kind of understand it from an artistic point of view when like it's so glaringly obvious that only a few cards have it and everything else is like fully clothed, and to the point where the art style of the clothing in this, everyone's very modestly dressed outside of the princesses. And I know that in some circles too, like as in, I think it was season 2 of Outlander, where they showed the dresses with the breasts out. Again, it's fine. It's like, just, I don't know. It feels random with just selective nudity. Anyway, these are the swords, the cups. So we're down now at the port. Again, some very similar backgrounds. Like, I really like that Prince or Knight of Cups, like going down to the water. Maybe I'm just being picky. Okay, so now the swords. It's cool, I like that. It's like the doorway, you gotta go through the doorway. Four. Interesting with that being in the infinity. Queen. And the king. Okay, so the pentacles. Beautiful tower now that we're in cathedral. Okay, and the king. Cool. So I have noticed a couple of things, because if I can find it, I have the first edition of this deck, which came out in 2008, I believe. Yeah, it says 2008. This was the box for the original Truth Seeker. So this was the Wisdom Seekers Tarot. It was called the Truth Seekers Tarot. So there's a few things that I've noticed that are different. Mainly, well, there's a couple of things. First is the book. So this came in it was a hardcover book. Now I'm sure, yeah, the information is the same. the information is probably exactly the same. Look, it's like in the aces, the moon. Yeah. The layout's a little bit different, but everything is the same in the book, but it's a hardcover copy of this. Now the big difference is the actual cards themselves have a big difference. So the back is different too. So that's the original version. This is the new version. But the big thing, and one of the reasons why I actually like this deck a lot, which is different, is there's no gold gilding on any of the cards. So in the original version, there's gold on the cards, and you can tell with on every card too. So you can tell with those spaces, like where the pentacles and the king's crown, that's meant to actually be gold gilding. And this is the last time a publisher ever sends me a deck. But it's not in there, and I don't know why maybe they'll let me know why they chose to not do that. But for me, it kind of brought a little something extra to the deck. You know, like, yes, it's probably just an aesthetic, the thing, but I was like, oh, okay, I'll review the deck because I've got the first edition and maybe something's changed and maybe they've added like new things, and you know, I was like, nope, they've actually taken away. So everything else remains the same. The art's exactly the same. The font on the cards are exactly the same. The box has changed. The book cover has changed. The backs have changed, and there's no gold. So I am super glad I have the original 2008 copy. It's like I could, go pick it up quite easily because it's right near where I work. It is cool that they've republished, like they've reproduced it, so that might have gone out of print and you couldn't get it, so they've republished it. It's just interesting with the choices they went with their republishing. So that's my unboxing and first impressions of now what used to be called the Truth Seekers Tarot. If you want to try and find a copy that has the gold gilding, that's what you'll need to search under. It's now called the Wisdom Seekers Tarot by David Fontana. And thank you as all for watching.